Bro, what? Come on, guys. Guys, come on, man. Can we not show some grace, man? Can we not show some grace? Let's bring up Muhammad Noor. Muhammad, what's up, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. You believe the Quran is preserved?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there are no contradictions.
Contradictions doesn't mean preservation. I have books today that have no contradictions, like my math book from middle school. I still have that, actually, by the way. And it has no contradictions in it. Doesn't mean it's, I don't know, perfectly preserved or from God or something?
Well, yeah, there's no contradictions, so it cannot be corrupted or anything like that.
Right, so that means that my math book, my algebra book is from God?
Well, I'm not saying it's a math book, but I'm saying it's from God, this one, so it's not corrupted or anything.
Yeah, so something not having contradictions doesn't mean that it's perfectly preserved, right? Or from God?
Well, if it's not contradiction or anything like that, then it's fully preserved. So
if I have a book full of contradictions that has never been corrupted, nothing has been taken out or added from this book, that means that I have a preserved book full of contradictions, right?
What? What are you saying?
Preservation has nothing to do with whether it's a contradiction or not. Like, the words can contradict each other and still be preserved. So if I write on a piece of paper right now 2 contradictory statements on here, and it lasts for 3,000 years, it's preserved, right?
Well, yeah.
So, but it has contradictions on it.
But there are no contradictions in the Quran, so
How did you just circle back?
So if the Quran doesn't have any contradictions, which it has a bunch, but if it doesn't have contradictions, that still doesn't mean it's preserved.
It is a preserved book, though.
All right, why do you believe it's preserved? Because contradictions can't be the reason. So why do you believe that it's preserved, that it hasn't been changed or altered?
Because it makes sense.
Again, I can have a book that makes sense that has been corrupted, that has been added to, that has been changed, but it makes sense.
It talks about Allah being one God, so
that doesn't mean that it was preserved. How do you know that that wasn't added?
Because it's from the one true God.
Hey, man. How old are you?
16.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, man. Have you ever thought about these things?
I mean, why do you think the Quran is not a contradicted book?
Contradictions has nothing to do with the conversation, bro. It's about preservation. You don't know why you don't even know why you believe the Quran is preserved, because it seems like you don't even understand what
I
that
just
means.
said it was preserved now.
Yeah, I know, but what? Okay, so you assume preservation is what the word doesn't even mean. You're using things to assume preservation that doesn't work in this conversation. Do you believe that manuscripts have something to do with the preservation of the Quran?
Yeah.
Do you know what a manuscript is, Muhammad?
It's like I'm not sure what it means, but it's like scripts from like before.
There you go. Yeah, you got it right.
Right. And they pass those down to us. And so from a specific time period. So from the 7th century, whatever they were writing, it would get passed down to us, and that would be considered preservation. Now, it depends on the level of preservation where you can claim that the Quran has been perfectly preserved, no alterations. So they look into the manuscripts and they see what was there, and they compare other manuscripts that are around to see if there are any issues. That's what helps preservation, not saying it doesn't contradict.
Yeah. So do you believe the Quran is the word of God or no?
No,
we don't.
Why?
And so today, one of the things we're talking about is the Quran has been corrupted. It's been changed over time. And so the Quran that you have today is not the same Quran that, let's say, for example, Muhammad was reciting, or the companions of Muhammad who learned from him, that they
Is there
had.
any evidence?
For sure. Absolutely. So here's an example, bro. You're a Sunni Muslim, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just show a simple example like I did earlier. I'll just show that. You have Aisha, the mother of the believers, talking about verses that used to exist in the Quran in her time, but they don't exist today. Let me just show you that really quick, okay? So let me see. I'm gonna get the right one. Life be changing all my little displays, man. Okay. You can see the screen?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be looking at the one right here on the left. Sahih Muslim 1452a. Okay. So it says, Aisha reported that it had been revealed in the Holy Quran that 10 clear sucklings make the marriage unlawful. So there were verses in the Quran where 10 clear sucklings make a marriage unlawful. There are verses about 10 clear sucklings breastfeeding. Okay. Then it was abrogated or substituted by 5 sucklings. So now there were 5 suckling verses. Okay. At first it was 10, then it got changed to 5 in the Quran. And Allah's apostle died. And it was before that time found in the Holy Quran and recited by the Muslims. So before Muhammad died, these verses, at least of the 5 sucklings, maybe not the 10, but at least the 5 sucklings, because that's what it got changed to, that was in Aisha's Quran, right? But these verses of 5 suckling don't exist in your Quran today. And they don't exist in any Quran that we can see, that we can find. No manuscripts, no nothing.
So they're not in the Quran now we have?
Correct. They're not in the Quran that you have now.
Well, there was also 10 like sucklings too.
Yep, there were 10 sucklings, and they were changed to 5 sucklings. Now, there's nowhere where there's 10 sucklings exist, but and there's nowhere where the 5 sucklings exist. You know, when it says that the 10 sucklings got abrogated, I'm okay with not finding the 10 sucklings in the Quran because they got substituted, you know. So maybe they don't exist anymore or something. But it got changed to 5 sucklings. So the 5 sucklings should be in the Quran. As Aisha said, it's still in the Quran. All right. So, but it's not. It's not in the Quran that we have access to today.
How do you know it's not in the Quran?
Because I've read it.
Where does it say it's not there?
It doesn't exist, brother. The verses of the 5 suckling do not show up in the Qurans.
So what does that mean then? Like,
it means that the Quran has been altered over time. That it's not the same Quran that Muhammad recited and that Aisha had and those companions.
well, there was a bunch of different books over time. So
Right, so a bunch of different Qurans over time, right?
yeah.
Right, so that means that the Quran has been altered. You had different Qurans over time. So we lost the true Quran, and all these Qurans differed. They were different from each other. So it's not perfectly preserved, that you like you guys say.
I mean,
So,
do you like have any evidence for like that, or like?
Yeah, so look, brother, because you're not really too knowledgeable on this subject, so I just want to give you this. Like, so you can watch this stream, and you'll see the evidence that we use to prove our point. Okay, and like the hadith that I just used just now, my brother's going to show some manuscripts and how they've been changed, like any actual texts, the manuscripts. He's going to show that.
What
So-
manuscripts? The Quran?
Yeah, manuscripts of the Quran. Mhm.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So keep watching, okay? I'm gonna bring up some other guests.
Oh, okay.
Keep watching, and you'll see the evidence we use. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try to bring another guest up. 4,400 people watching, man. Make sure everybody hits the like button. A lot of you guys aren't subscribed. Bro, these people, man, in the chat, bro.
Oh dang! I just. Bro, what?
Come on, guys. Guys, come on, man. Can we not show some grace, man? Can we not show some grace? First of all, there's no cussing allowed in the chat. All right. No cussing allowed in the chat. And we gotta show some grace, man. Come on. Come on.
Come on.
Ooh.
What is going? Why
Come
you gotta
on, man.
do him like that, bro?
That's crazy work, man. That's crazy work. Someone said, I can't wrap my head around how Muslims can have a debate on if it's 5 or 10 sucklings and then still think Islam is the religion of God. Right?
10, right? Right, like read the room too at the same time,
Right.
And
I'm
talking about.
I'm defending a religion that talk about 10 to 5 sucklings that make a marriage unlawful, man. This will solve the problem. You know, you will no longer be attracted to this woman once she suckles you as an adult. Another man's wife.
This was wisdom. This was wisdom from Muhammad.
Hikmah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Hikmah.
You know what I mean? It was some deep behind that when he said that.
Mashallah. Mashallah. Egobis? Man, I butchered that. What's your name, man?
It's like
You can call me Yusuf, man.
Yusuf?
My camera is on. Holy shit. Wait a second.
Language, please. Language.
I apologize.
outlaws, man.
Yeah, you can call me Yusuf.
All right. Hi, Yusuf. Are you a Muslim?
Yes, a convert, actually.
You're a convert to Islam.
Yes. I go outside. I went to fresh air. Hold on a second. Let me know if my connection is a little bad outside.
If I were you, I'd stay inside where you got the Wi-Fi, man.
I have Wi-Fi outside.
Okay, as long as it works.
Just
You
let me
sound
know
good so far.
as soon as the connection should be bad. I would go inside again. Just
All
let me
right,
know.
sounds good. So you're a convert to Islam. Like, what did you come across? Like, did you come across some dawah, like, or what? What was it?
No, by myself.
By
I-
yourself.
Born and raised in Switzerland. I was Catholic, but I was not practicing at all. Long time I was atheistic. I went more into agnostic beliefs, and after I've read scriptures, Bible, Quran as well, I was just more convinced by Islam
Okay.
overall.
So you were convinced of the preservation of the Quran?
As well, yes, I think the Quran which we have is reliable, but I have to admit I'm not reading it in Arabic though. Like it's a German translation.
Oh man, you know if you're not reading it in Arabic, you ain't reading the Quran, man.
Yeah, according to some extremists, that's right.
Only the extremists.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
you can read it in the language you're understanding. What's the matter reading it if you don't understanding it?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, which Quran are you reading?
It's a translation by Max Henning. I think it is the Hafs version, if I'm not mistaken. She translated.
Got you.
Mhm.
Okay. So you believe that Hafs version is the preserved Quran that goes all the way back to Muhammad and his companions?
I don't know. During Muhammad's lifetime, there wasn't a fully compiled canon of the Quran, if I'm not mistaken.
That's true. During Muhammad's lifetime, there was not a compiled codex of the Quran. That is true. But you did have Muhammad died, and then that should have been, there couldn't have been no additions or subtractions after Muhammad dies, right?
I don't know about that. I think aren't abrogations allowed?
No, abrogation only happens with the prophet, because abrogation is a revelation from Allah. He's the one who abrogates, and he does it through the prophet. And so you'll have the consensus of the scholars. You read this in Al-Qurtubi's Tafsir. He says that the consensus of the scholars say that after Muhammad's death, there is no abrogation.
Is it a Hafs version? Yes, it is. I have here. Yeah, it's from Max Henning from the Hafs version. Yeah, look, I have to admit also, sir, I'm very uneducated about the Hadith. I think they are relevant regarding religious practice, but I try to focus as much as I can on the Quran. I read also the Bible.
Sure.
Yeah. But
okay. So that's cool.
I didn't know that about the abrogation, by the way. Thank you for informing.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm here to help any way I can. I'm here to serve. So I want to just show you what I know and why I'm saying that the Quran is not preserved. And you can take it and do what you want with the information, look more into it, and make your own decision. Okay.
Would you mind if I ask also questions here and there?
Sure, absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah, like this is a conversation, bro.
In advance, I apologize for my English, by the way. That's not.
You sound good, man. You sound perfectly fine.
Many people.
All right, so I'm gonna show you this hadith right here. It's in Sahih Muslim. Okay, Sahih Muslim 1050. Okay, let me just put it up on the screen for us. All right, it's gonna be on the right side. Can you see it, or is it too small?
No, I can read it very well.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is Sahih Muslim 1050. Okay. Abu Harb bin Abu al-Aswad reported on the authority of his father that Abu Musa al-Ash'ari sent for the reciters of Basra. Now, let me just give you a little bit of context, okay? So Abu Musa, he's one of the companions of Muhammad, right? But this time, this event right here this is after Muhammad died. And this is in the time of Umar, the caliph. Okay. How do we know this? Because the place Basra was conquered after Muhammad's death under the reign of Umar. And Umar appointed Abu Musa as al-Ash'ari over Basra. Okay. So that's just for context. All right. So this is after Muhammad. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari sent for the reciters of Basra. They came to him, and they were 300 in number. They recited the Quran, and he said, "You are the best among the inhabitants of Basra, for you are the reciters among them. So continue to recite it. But bear in mind that your reciting for a long time may not harden your hearts as were hardened the hearts of those before you. We used to recite a surah which resembled in length and severity to Surah Bara'at, which is chapter 9. Okay, so chapter 9 has 129 verses. So he's saying we used to recite a chapter that's as long as chapter 9, at least 129 verses. Okay. He says, I have, however, forgotten it, with the exception of this, which I remember out of it. If there were two valleys full of riches for the son of Adam, he would long for a third valley, and nothing would fill the stomach of the son of Adam but dust. And we used to recite a surah which resembled one of the surahs, one of the chapters of Musabihat, which means these are the chapters that like start with like Subhanallah or Glory to Allah. Okay, so that's the style of that chapter. So we used to recite a surah that resembled one of the surahs of Musabihat, and I have forgotten it. But remember this much out of it. O people who believe, why do you say that which you do not practice? And that is recorded in your necks as a witness, and you would be asked on the day of resurrection. Okay? So these are two chapters that he mentioned that they used to recite in the Quran, and he's forgotten most of them except for these portions he remembered. But here's the problem. Okay? The problem is, let's say, for example, this first one that he said that resembles chapter 9, and he remembered this portion of it, if there were two valleys full of riches for the son of Adam. None of this is found in any of the Qurans today. It's all gone. The same with the other one. So there are entire chapters that are missing from the Quran even after Muhammad's death.
But these two verses, they were part of the final Quran, or?
Well, that's the question. Was it? Who knows? Because according to Musa, they used to be in the Quran.
But you said he forgot it, right? Where's the passage where? Can I read the passage where it says that he forgot the verses?
Yes, right here.
Here.
However, forgotten it.
I have, however, forgotten it, with the exception of this, which I remembered out. If I'm not mistaken, hold on, because there's a Quran surah. I think it's in the second surah,
chapter 2, verse 106, where it talks about abrogation. He doesn't cause to forget unless he replaces, right?
Yeah, but this is, if I'm not mistaken, beyond. Dies bezieht sich nicht auf Verse des Korans, sondern auf vorkoranische Offenbarungen. My translation. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't necessitate that these abrogations have to happen during the lifetime of Muhammad. Or how do you interpret this verse 2?
So notice this. So number one, in chapter 2, verse 106, the context is about Muhammad because they're accusing Muhammad of forgetting what he said prior. So what would happen is Muhammad would give a revelation, and then the next day or two would give what seems to be an opposing revelation. And his response is that, well, Allah causes to forget this, and he replaces it with something better or like it. So that's the excuse he gives. The problem is that this is dealing with Muhammad. Like, this only happens. Something of the Quran being substituted only happens if there's the prophet for it to be substituted through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's revelation. Yeah, it's revelation that these verses are being substituted or supposed to be gone or whatever.
Different.
Say that again.
Yeah, I get that, but the language which is used, the grammatical formulation of it seems it is something absolute. And how do you say this in English? Allgemeingültiges Prinzip. Like a universal principle and not a context-specific singular case.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? The language which is used.
I agree that it's a. Yeah. I agree it's a universal principle, but it's always dealing with Muhammad. It's always dealing with the revelation of Allah. Unless you're going to say, because look,
yeah, that might be.
How would anyone know that Allah is substituting a verse? How will they know?
They would know because 216 is an absolute statement and not a specific context, a specific case on a specific context. It's absolute. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
how would they?
A lot of
no, brother, listen.
Yeah.
How will they know if Allah is substituting a verse, because you would agree that if Allah is substituting a verse, if he's making a verse nullified, if he's changing a law, for example, or causing something to be like no longer applicable, right? If he's substituting something, you would agree that that is revelation that he's giving, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And
fair.
so,
Yes.
so
So the question is,
abrogation.
how would someone know that something was abrogated?
Exactly. Unless it's revealed to them through the prophet. Or else, if abrogation can happen, if substitution can happen after Muhammad's death, then this means that Muhammad's not the final messenger and prophet, but there are other messengers and prophets receiving revelation regarding Allah's books. You get what I'm saying? You there, Yusuf? Yusuf? Did I lose you?
Hey, sorry,
there you
God
go.
Logic, my connection broke.
Okay, there you go. Man, y'all,
Can you
almost
hear
broke
me
my heart, man.
again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me though? Okay,
sounds
I'm
like
glad. Sorry, the connection. The last sentence. Could you please repeat the last sentence? I fixed the problem. I apologize, by the way. Sorry.
No worries. So what we're saying is that as we agree that abrogation would be revelation, right? Abrogation would be revelation. So in order for someone, like if abrogation, substitution was happening after Muhammad died, that would mean that that Muhammad is not the final messenger,
Yeah.
and that there's someone even after Muhammad that is receiving revelation concerning Allah's books, concerning the Quran. So that would disqualify Muhammad from being the last and final messenger. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why the scholars came to the decision, like the agreement, that abrogation, substitution cannot happen after Muhammad's death, because that would mean someone else is a prophet, someone else is receiving revelation, but Muhammad's the last. So,
But isn't verse 2:16? I think there's also another verse. Maybe you know it
16.
even better than I do.
yeah, 16:101.
Probably. Probably. I don't have it in front of me, but nevertheless, isn't it the abrogation? It happens unknowingly, right? And the whole reason why all the people, the followers of Islam, the early followers, they claim that it is divine and it is delegated by God. Well, I don't think that. Still, I don't think it necessitates that the abrogation has to happen during the lifetime of Muhammad. Because if we assume that God has promised that the Quran will be preserved, then we can expect that there will be historical evidence which are plausible and which will back that up. And I think that's coherent with what we know. I think it's not something miraculously which happened within the Quran. We have plausible explanation which back it up. It's very well, exceptionally well preserved. And abrogation
this is
doesn't
this is the
necessarily
problem.
means.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
problem. Okay, the problem is that you just agreed and that it made sense that because abrogation is revelation, can't be another person receiving abrogation, revelation after Muhammad, or else he's not the last prophet. So, but if you want to go with your view, then you're going to have to say that Abu Musa and others received revelation that these verses are gone, that these verses are no longer supposed to be in the Quran. They have been substituted out. Right. So,
But God logic.
Is Muhammad the last messenger then or not?
He is the last messenger.
He can't
But
be
can I
if
ask you
others are
something?
receiving revelation after him.
Yeah, but where do you get that abrogation is revelation?
Okay.
If abrogation means that things will be forgotten, or
No. Chapter 2, verse 106. Go ahead and read that, bro.
chapter 2, 106. Hold on, yeah. I go inside. Chapter 2, 106. There we go. Wir wissen auch, was wir auch an Versen aufheben oder in Vergessenheit fallen lassen. Wir bringen bessere oder gleichwertige dafür. Weißt du nicht, dass Gott über alle Dinge Macht hat?
So it says, nothing of our revelation do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, except that we bring one better or the like of it. Right?
It doesn't say revelation, it says verses.
What's the word in the Arabic?
I don't know, to be honest. Anyway, let's say it is revelation, yeah? Go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
So we'll go with revelation signs, his verses. You agree that his verses are his revelation, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the verses do not get replaced or abrogated or forgotten. I'm sorry, they don't get abrogated, substituted, or forgotten, except that we bring one better or the like of it. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So the substitution or the forgetting is intertwined with receiving revelation of something taking what is being substituted, that it's taking its place.
Fair,
Right?
I get that, but yes, though I must ask you, let's say it's just an example of mine, which I came up with right now, and you can tell me what you think about that. But if you have, for example, a law text, let's say it's the Constitution. Wait, not the Constitution. Let's just take a law text of a company, and within decades of this company, these texts will be changed. There are new things which are changed, not internally from the company. Let's say it's just new factors of the environment, which causes the text to be different or to be understood differently or to be rewritten differently. Let's just assume that doesn't necessitate that there must be a new lawyer which writes down these texts, as much as it doesn't necessitate that there's a new prophet needed which gets these new revelations for the verses which were abrogated. You know what I mean? I think it can be for the previous revelation.
In a company, in order for these new laws or bylaws that substitute the old ones, who does that happen through?
It happens through the government, through
I'm talking about a particular
mostly
company.
through the government. On that particular company, it's correlated between the environment and whatever happens regarding law.
So let's, because in your example, bro, like let's try to keep it like clear. In your example, if you're talking about the laws of a company, the bylaws of a company,
What?
who brings forth the bylaws in the company?
The state.
No, bro, it's the executives. It's the CEOs.
Yeah, but
them.
Right? But if there wouldn't be the state derogating the new laws or dictating
The state has nothing to do with a personal company's bylaws, dude.
I don't know the English term for that, man. But what I mean is still the environment. The company is bound to the environment, and that's derogated by something like a state.
So do you agree? Do you agree that bylaws are given through people that are head of the company or directors of the company? Correct.
Later on, yes.
No, not later
yes.
on. Not later
Of
on.
course.
This is when this stuff happens and it's formulated.
Yeah, it happens, and then they formulate it as well
Okay,
as
and
God
so-
makes an abrogation, and
So it
Uthman
has
makes
to
an
happen. So an employee can't just be like, "Oh, I forgot the bylaw, so therefore it doesn't exist now." No, it's if the it takes the executives or the CEOs, the board of directors, for they decide whether or not the law is still in place or not, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when the Quran is talking about verses being substituted, who substitutes them?
Well, in the first, it's by God, and then
Good. Through who?
He makes people forget.
But hold on, through who?
Through who?
Yeah,
Well, in that case, what was the name of this dude which forgot the verse? What was
we're
his
talking
name?
about in the verse right here in 2106, my brother. Come on, man. Let's be
No,
honest.
no, I mean the dude which
Quran,
forgets
please.
the verses. The Al
Yusuf in chapter 2, verse 106.
Yeah.
Who is the abrogation done through?
There's no reference to that. Was wir auch
All right,
an
brother.
Versen aufheben oder in
It's okay, Yusuf. Hey, man.
Okay, can I ask you-
Research and look into this. Research and look into this, and see if there are any scholars that agree with you that someone other than Muhammad can bring abrogation of verses. Because by your position, you have now canceled Muhammad from being the last messenger. Now there's other messengers that can receive revelation from Allah that can edit the Quran, change the Quran because
That's
they
not what I
forget
said.
it or don't remember things right or substitute something.
But
Muhammad's
neither,
not the
that's
last
not what I
messenger, so you
said.
got to look into this, okay?
That's not even what I said.
Okay, take care, man.